to Through the Bible. We are in the book of 2nd Chronicles, listening to the stories of kings of Judah. King Hezekiah the Godly, 2nd Chronicles, chapters 29 to 32. When Ahaz died, his son Hezekiah became king of Judah. He was very different from his father. He tried to keep all commandments and to live as his great forefather David had done. At once he began to put right the wrong Ahaz had done. He had all the heathen places of worship broken down and all the idols destroyed. In the very first month of his reign, he had the temple doors opened and the whole building repaired. Then he sent in the Levites to clean every part of it. It took them 16 days altogether to finish the work. When this was done, the sacrifices and services began again, just as the law of the Lord said they should be carried out. For many years, the Passover feast had not been kept as the Lord commanded. Hezekiah felt that now was a time to begin once again to keep the feast. But he felt that Israel and Judah should keep it together. So he sent messengers to the northern kingdom to invite the people to Jerusalem. But many of the Israelites were serving the idols of the Assyrians, and they only laughed at the messengers from Judah. In the tribes of Ephraim and Manasseh, not a single person would come at first, but later some did come from Asher, Manasseh, and Zebulun to join in the feast in Jerusalem. When Hezekiah became king, Judah, Israel, and Syria were all in the hands of the Assyrians. Each of these nations had its own king, but all three kings were servants of the Assyrian king and had to pay heavy taxes to him every year. In the 14th year of his reign, Hezekiah felt that it was time Judah was free again. So he did not pay taxes to the Assyrian king, but instead strengthened the walls of Jerusalem and prepared his soldiers to defend their country against any Assyrian attack. When this happened, Sennacherib, king of Assyria, brought up great armies, and before very long, many of the cities of Judah on the west side of the country had been captured. The Assyrians moved on toward Jerusalem itself, and Hezekiah saw that he had made a mistake. His country was not strong enough yet to fight against the Assyrians, so he sent messengers to the headquarters of the king of Assyria in the town of Lachish to ask for peace. He promised to pay whatever tax the Assyrians asked for. The tax was so heavy that Hezekiah had to have the gold cut off the doors of the temple and off the pillars which he had covered with gold when he first became king. When Sennacherib was not even satisfied then, he sent 3 of his princes with a mighty army of men to attack Jerusalem. When they came near to the city, the princes went ahead with a letter to Hezekiah. They also shouted out a message of mockery to the defenders of the wall of Jerusalem. When Hezekiah received that letter, he was very worried and upset, but he did the right thing. He took the letter to the temple and laid it before the altar of the Lord and asked him to come to the help of his people in their great need. Then he sent his own princes Eliakim and Shebna to the prophet Isaiah to ask if there was any message from God. This was the word they brought back. The Lord says, "Do not be afraid of what the Assyrians have said. The king of Assyria will not come into this city, nor even shoot an arrow into it, nor attack it in any way. He will go back to his own land by the same way along which he came. In his own land he will be killed with the sword. For the sake of the memory of my servant David, I shall protect this city." While this was happening, Sennacherib received news that a mighty army was coming from Ethiopia to attack him. To prepare for war against them, he called back his men from Jerusalem to Lachish. But there a terrible thing happened to them. In the night, an angel came from God and spread a bad disease in the Assyrian camp, and before morning 185,000 of soldiers were dead. When this happened, Sennacherib gathered together all the men that were left and went back to Nineveh in his own country. There, sometime afterward, his own sons killed him with the sword while he was worshipping before an idol. But God had saved the city of Jerusalem and the people of Judah from the Assyrian enemy. While the Assyrians were still in the land, Hezekiah fell seriously ill. The prophet Isaiah came to him and said, "You must settle your affairs, because God says that this sickness will take away your life." When Hezekiah heard that, he turned his face to the wall and wept bitterly and prayed, "O God, remember that I have always served you with my whole heart and done what is good in your sight. I beg you." God heard that prayer, and he called back his prophet Isaiah and gave him a message which was new to take it to Hezekiah. He must go back and tell the king that God had heard his prayer and seen his tears. God would make him well again, so that in 3 days' time he would be able to go to the temple to worship. He would live for 15 years more, and in all that time the Assyrians would be kept from attacking Jerusalem. Hezekiah was very pleased to receive this message, but he wanted a sign to prove that God would really heal him. Isaiah asked him which he wanted. Must the shadow on the sundial move back 10 degrees or forward 10 degrees? Hezekiah answered that it was an easy thing for the shadow to go forward. Let it rather go 10 degrees backward. So Isaiah prayed to God, and God brought back the shadow on the sundial by 10 degrees, so that Hezekiah could be sure of the truth of the promise. For 15 years after that, Hezekiah continued to reign, and there was peace in the land in all that time.